Square Enix decides to disgrace Akira Toriyama. With remakes and remasters, it seems like we all have to be careful and research the projects and know the people behind them. This is Levistro, the Dragon of Cyberspace, coming to you with all news, tips, and tricks within the gaming spectrum. If you like my work and wish to support, please hit the subscribe, like, and notification bell. Share this video so we can push out to the algorithm and join us every night for Levistro Plays. And with that, let's get on with the news. So I just came across this article from Bounding into Comics talking about Square Enix, and as it says here, they're wanting to censor the female warrior design for Dragon Quest III. In a move that feels especially egregious given to the esteemed artist's recent passing, a new preview for Dragon Quest III HD2 has revealed that Square Enix will be censoring franchise artist Akira Toriyama's original design for the game's female warrior. For those who are unfamiliar with who the great Akira Toriyama is, he is more commonly known for his works with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. But he's also done numerous character designs for games like Blue Dragon, Dragon Quest, and Dragon Ball. In this image, we see the female and male warriors prepared for battle in Dragon Quest III from 1988 by Akira Toriyama. Published on September 3rd by way of a lengthy post made to the game's official Japanese language Twitter account, Square Enix's latest look at the upcoming remake sought to provide details regarding the ins and outs of the game's party system, which rather than teaming players up with named protagonists a la Final Fantasy or other mainline Dragon Quest titles, requires players to recruit generic class-based allies from the local pub. To this end, said preview offers players a brief profile of each of the game's available classes: hero, otherwise known as protagonist, gadabout jester, mage, martial artist, merchant, priest, sage, thief, warrior, and a new remake exclusive monster wrangler. Therein providing both a summary of their respective abilities as well as full body illustrations of their respective male and female variants. Unfortunately, while most every class representative in Remake appears just as they did in the original 1988 release and every subsequent re-release of Dragon Quest III, this consistency does not extend to the female warrior. Originally, the purple-haired heroine originally charged into battle wearing a little more than gloves, boots, a winged helmet, armored brassiere, and a steel plate loincloth, as seen in this picture. The female warrior, as illustrated by Akira Toriyama for Dragon Quest III. However, since a worrying amount of players currently have more hangups about anything remotely sexual than the original Puritans, the remake sees the warrior cover up her shame with a tan-colored undershirt and matching pair of shorts. I mean, why would you even do that? It kind of defeats the purpose of having that done. You might as well give her a hijab or a nun outfit. As noted above, the instances of censorship, though admittedly not altogether unexpected, comes across as particularly insulting given the fact that Toriyama passed away earlier this year. We are deeply saddened to inform you that the manga creator Akira Toriyama passed away on March 1st due to acute subdural hematoma, reads a news update published to the official website of the artist's iconic Dragon Ball manga. It is our deep regret that he still had several works in the middle of creation with great enthusiasm. It continued. Also, he would have many more things to achieve. However, he has left many manga titles and works of art to this world. Thanks to the support of so many people around the world, he has been able to continue his creativity for 45 years. We hope that Akira Toriyama's unique world of creation continues to be loved by everyone for a long time to come. We inform you this sad news with gratefulness for your kindness during his lifetime. Here's the letter. Oh, they even have his avatar. Sadly, this is not the first official instance in which the female warrior has had her design censored in recent years. Since the shutdown mobile RPG Dragon Quest Stars, the warrior likewise dons both a black undershirt and a pair of tights underneath her original armor. Similarly, the warrior would also wear the same outfit for her brief appearance in the also since shut down mobile TCG Dragon Quest Rivals. And Dragon Quest Treasures, her statue featured a slightly modified version of the censored outfit with her full tights instead of replaced with spandex shorts. Furthermore, this bit of censorship is not the first modern audience change made to Dragon Quest III during the remake. As previously reported and subsequently reaffirmed in a Twitter post at the heart of this article, rather than allowing players to choose between male and female genders when creating their hero or selecting their party members, they will instead be asked to select between Type A and Type B body types. At current, Dragon Quest III HD2 Remake is currently scheduled to start slaying slimes on November 14th. To recap, as seen here, the issue doesn't just start with the female warrior, as back in July of 6, Square Enix reportedly to replace the male and female option with gender-neutral looks upcoming in Dragon Quest III. In a move that reeks to the company's ethics department, a new report suggests that rather than the gender, the characters in Square Enix's Dragon Quest III will instead be classified according to their look. As seen immediately upon starting the original 1980 adventure, Dragon Quest III, The Seeds of Salvation features a novel for the first time gender mechanic, which allows players not only to choose the gender of the game's protagonist, but also recruit male or female versions of each respective class, such as warrior, mage, or thief. With the decision to play a man or woman ultimately has little effect on the game's narrative, the choice to play does determine their appearance, what equipment they can use, and which personalities, a trait that has a slight effect on the gameplay status they can potentially develop. A memorable, if not inconsequential, element of the overall DQ3 experience, every version of the game, including the aforementioned 1988 original, the 1996 Super Famicom remake, the 2000 Game Boy Color remake, I remember playing that, and the 2014 mobile remaster, has explicitly labeled the mechanic according to the standard of male-female binary. However, it appears that with the remake, this consistency will be coming to an end. According to noted Japanese entertainment scoop outlet Ryokuta 2089, as the machine translated via DeepL rather than male or female, the two options were referred to as Look A, clearly a male hero, and Look B, clearly a female hero. I mean, what's wrong with male-female? Like, are we trying to avoid acknowledging women in games? That's what it seems like. You can also argue that they're not acknowledging men in games as well, but I thought the issue of diversity was not acknowledging females in games, which in character creation games like this, you can choose male or female. While the default canon of the storyline may be male or may be female, you could change that for whatever you want. For example, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. In the first game, Darth Revan is male. The protagonist, by default, is male. In KOTOR 2, the protagonist, by canon storyline, is female. But you can change the looks of both to be male or female. You can create the whole point of character creation is to be able to create yourself, create someone new, anything in general you want. Further, each look will be voiced respectively by Hiyama Nobuyuki. I hope I said it right. AKA, I can't say this well, Yu Yu Hakusho. I can't. Sorry, guys. I'm having some allergy issues, so I can't speak these Japanese things very well right now. Minaguchi Yuki, Videl in Dragon Ball. I guess it's the trend of the times, wrote the unidentified scooper who broke the news. It seems like the games or other jobs will no longer distinguish between male or female in the name. As noted above, this is far from the first such politically correct change Square Enix has made to a remake or re-release other games from recent years. For example, in Final Fantasy Rebirth, the company edited the scene which Cloud originally stole a pair of Tifa's panties from her drawer in order to make far less controversial. I mean, I understand the age argument, but have you seen the way teenagers dress? And I'm only referring to my memory when I was a teenager. If you're looking at a teenager and you're thinking sexual thoughts, that says more on you than anyone else. No one batted an eye about Tifa. All right, I would understand if it was a brand new character and they did something like that, and people were like, "Wait, you're crossing a line here." Yeah, I can understand, but something that's been around for a long time, and then now you're going to censor it. Either make the game as is with improved graphics and models, or don't make it at all. It's also like when Square Enix was accused of giving Tifa a smaller cup size. Further, upon Rebirth's release, Square Enix also released a patch for the pre-existing Final Fantasy Remake that retroactively censored the teenage Tifa's cowgirl outfit as worn by the heroine during the infamous Nibelheim incident. This is also the first Square Enix title to feature such non-standard gender options. In their 2022 RPG Harvestella, upon creating their character, players could choose to experience their adventure as either man or woman or non-binary individual.
Baldur's Gate 3 does that too.
Well, I don't approve of that because it makes no sense. Because if you're saying you're non-binary, you're putting yourself in a binary. So you're not really non-binary. It's like a nonsensical position to put yourself in. I'm outside of this or that. No, you have man or woman, and then you say you're non-binary. Therefore, you created a whole new binary just for you. So you're not non-binary. At current, Dragon Quest III H2 Remake is on track to start its Heroes Quest November 14, 2024. In my argument for when it comes to remakes and remasters, if you're remaking the game, then you need to have all the product. If you're remastering the game, you have to have all the product. You might fix a code error here or there. You might change 2D sprites into 3D meshes. You might have to adjust certain building types for the level design because 2D and 3D might interpret things differently. That's understandable. But if the costume design changes because of your delicate sensibilities, or you've changed male or female to male, female, non-binary, or type A, type B, you're giving an unfinished product. That's my argument. You're expecting people to pay what? 40, 50, 60, $80 maybe for a product that you're marketing as a remaster or a remake, offering them the full experiences and nostalgia and memorabilities as the original. That right there is false advertising. You either make it all or you don't. But what it's even worse is when you decide to disgrace one of the greatest manga and character design artists in Japan when his body is not even cold yet. People are still coming to grips with the fact that there's not going to be another Dragon Ball Z from the same artist. People are still coming to grips with certain things. And it's like politicians who decide they're going to go ahead and when a tragedy hits, use that advantage and make a soapbox on the corpses of warm bodies while people's emotions are raw. In this case, it's the opposite effect. You're taking someone else's work that's not yours. Someone who has worked hard and has earned a fandom of his own. And you're not only disrespecting that fandom, but you're slapping him in the face. You're disgracing him, which I thought in Japan, maybe I don't understand Japanese culture as well as I thought I do, but I thought in Japan, dishonoring the dead was taboo. You don't dishonor the dead for religious, supernatural, or cultural reasons. You know, there are regions of Japan that, if I recall, still believes ghosts walk among them. I'm not saying there is. I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying that's their culture. But personally, I think gamers who love this game, who love Akira Toriyama, who love the IP and franchise of Dragon's Quest, should make their voices heard to Square Enix respectfully. I'm not saying go in there and cancel them or make threats. That's not cool. That's not what gamers do. Personally, I will not buy, as much as I love the Dragon Quest III game, I'm not going to buy Dragon Quest III. They need to do more than just give back to costumes. They need to remake it with man and woman. Keep the original design as in. That's what a remaster is. Give me the original design. You want to give me something extra? Show me the artworks of Akira Toriyama. Put that in as extras. Maybe I can search, find, and unlock them. Give me some concept art from the original design. Maybe a behind-the-scenes video of how y'all had to remake it. Those things, like reward me for buying the game and exploring every exit of the game. Just like in games before. But I think, viewer, I would never tell you what to do and buy your games, but if you are offended by this, then put your money where your mouth is and buy a different game. Let Square Enix know that unless they revert their changes to the original design of the game and remaster that instead without modernizing it to their ethics department and the people in the West that tells the ethics department what to think and listen to their customers, you're not buying the game. That's what I would advise if you really want to change things. Well, what are your thoughts, viewers? Are you going to buy this game? Are you anticipating the changes? Do you think the censorship of Akira Toriyama's work is okay? Or do you think Square Enix has disgraced one of the greatest artists of all time? This is V-Show, the Dragon of Cyberspace, saying, happy gaming.